I'm Toycat and welcome back to part 2 of the Pocket City Expert Mode Let's Play. Today I'm going to be having quite a bit of fun because we built up all of the money between last time and this time, just kind of letting the game run. We were at a profit and we figured let's not touch that, let's do as little as possible. However, I did have to touch one thing because I leveled up in that time because I just bought a bank to get the money to go even higher, and then I leveled up so I needed to make a fire department, so it's worth mentioning I have completed the fire department challenge. Look at me right there, 960 XP, and now I've got a whole new level. So soon we'll have we got more fun options available. But yeah, finally we can buy this piece of land because the truth is playing on expert, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good things to say about it. However, it is worth mentioning so many things just take more time because like getting money is just harder because I mean it's expert mode. So we're gonna have to every now and then have this kind of like break from time to time. But because we have a lot of money now, we can buy a bunch of land, get some challenges done actually, and I think we get some money back for it. And we're going to just buy this whole plot of land right here, so we can expand our city that way. Because if we expand this way, our city gets, like, we have to destroy mountains. We can't really do that right now. If we expand this way, it's literally water. Like, building bridges is possible, but I'd rather terraform that later and make it my own thing. So the only real expansion direction is this way, which conveniently enough is where all the chests are. So yeah, let's do this, shall we? Let's slowly expand in this general direction. Again, keeping our roads at the very edge right here. Just so we can have, some more place to build it. Because we need to have more zones. Not right now. Again, there's not much demand for the city. Mostly because taxes are so high. But it's a necessity to keep yourself alive. But yeah, we don't really have so much going on as far as that. But hopefully the new fun options we just unlocked will make that better. And hopefully our city doesn't burn down. Because we have a new thing we've got to keep high. And that's fire safety as well. So again, the complexity of the game, it was fun enough in normal, but in this, I feel like you're struggling to keep up at all times. Like, okay, so we need a second fire department, we're going to need a third one soon. In fact, let's just build both now. Let's just be ahead of the curve on that one. 2 fire departments. Sure, look at that right now. Because if you don't know, fire departments have no actual upkeep cost. You build them once, and they're there forever. So as soon as that second one is built, we'll go from having 46% to, I presume, 92%. I hope that's how that works. Did I nail it? 93%, so it was really 46.5%. And now we've got 100% fire safety, and we're locked down. And if we need more, then we'll put them on the other side of the map. And yeah, basically, we're just going to kind of deal with challenges in this general way, and it should go pretty well. So, while we do this, while we do some more basic expansion of just like, okay, keep my grid system going. Again, ideally, I feel like to make the perfect city, you want to have a grid system which is as consistent as possible. Like, it's fun to switch from types of grids to types of grids, but it's generally not wasteful, but it's generally bad for your city as a whole to do that. So if you want to avoid that, I don't blame you. And you kind of, oh, is that fine? That's probably fine. But yeah, if you want to avoid that, generally speaking, you want to avoid it. It's just the best thing to do. So anyway, while we slowly expand our city and get these quests done, I guess, because something to do. Oh, it's literally it's something to get for the citizens to do, and the land before crime is happening. I assume at level 9 we'll unlock that. So yeah, we do. Look at me. I'm learning the levels right here, and then we're gonna make bank, because by building a bank, I assume. Oh, I can increase the limit, but you gotta make a bank. Look at me. No, you don't have to worry about that. I know this knowledge already, and that also takes us to level 9 where we can make police stations. You can see how, like, almost going too fast in this game is a blessing, is a curse as well as a blessing. And again, on expert mode, it's especially that second one there. So we'll build a police station, just chilling over here, because as soon as you unlock the ability to make police stations, crime unlocks itself, which is a whole little bit of a nightmare, as you can probably imagine. Oh, so yeah, you might be also wondering why I have all these trees. I just went on a big bash about how trees are just the worst thing. Who wants them? But the truth is like, I had the spare money and I didn't have a bank enough yet, and I was going to the shop to get some ingredients for taco salad, or taco soup, actually, which was delightful. I'm incredibly full from eating that. One of the weird things about, like, living by yourselves is, like, sometimes, like, certain meals are, like, really, really cheap to make in bulk, and I've got, like, 3 dinners worth for, like, maybe, like, I don't know, £5 in ingredients or something, which is, it's pretty good given they're all, like, big, filling things. So, pro tip, when you live by yourself, learn to cook, because, or, like, I mean, it's mostly just a fun thing. Like, it's probably cheaper to, like, eat, like, 3 double cheeseburgers instead, but not quite as filling. I guess McDonald's double cheeseburgers, which are going up in price, by the way. That's a whole separate issue that we won't talk about too much. But yeah, so I was thinking, like, like last time, we had some fun discussions about how I guess I prefer cities. I've said that before, and I'll mention it again. It's something I just like. I like cities. When I go places, I find cities are usually some of the more interesting things, with the exceptions of, I guess, developing countries, where cities are basically just get destroyed. And I wonder if we'll look back at that as, like, all cities today, like, even London or Tokyo or New York, like, some of the most famous cities today, I wonder if we'll look back on them and think like, oh my god, how did people manage to live there? In the same way that when you think back at like, the traditional medieval, like, king's castle surrounded by a moat, you're like, oh my god, living there must be rough. Maybe we'll think the same way about, so I'm just going to remove some of these trees. I know I don't need to, but let's just put the police station over the trees. Just so it's next to the fire station, it kind of makes some sense. But yeah, I wonder if we'll think that way about cities. Like, oh my god, how would you live in London? Like, you have, like, this much square space. Especially Hong Kong. If you ever looked at a Hong Kong-sized apartment, it's pretty, it's like depressing almost now to most people today. And that's one of the most developed parts of the world. I wonder if we'll go that way, or if we'll go the other way, where we think, like, so in America, there's a lot of urban spread. Like, this city is not an average American city. If there was an average American city, we'd have, like, a house over here, a house over here, a house over there, then, like, a mini housing plot over there. Because, I mean, it's just not a done thing to live in the city centre in America. Again, that's changing, different trends or whatever. And, like, I wonder if, like, you'll look back and be like, oh my god, they had, like, mini mansions to themselves, but then they drove themselves an hour each way. I think one of the interesting things about the fact that people are having less kids and therefore being not as dependent on anyone, besides maybe the transport board or whatever in your local area, is that maybe as a result of that... Oh, we've lost some zones here, it seems. I think one of the interesting results of that is probably the fact that, like, people will find it weird to live further away rather than close with a smaller space. Or, because, again, as younger people prefer less space and more earning potential, and older people prefer more space and don't need earning potential, because at some point, do you need money? Like, or, like, do you need to earn new money? You've already earned that amount for your life. I don't know, that's my theory, at least. So, yeah, I wonder if, like, this city is going to be, like, a horrifying, like... we're going to, like, the fact that, like, this seems normal to us is going to seem either more normal, and this is going to seem, like, luxurious, like, oh, you've got so much space. Or it could go the other way, again, it's really tricky to tell sometimes. Also, natural disasters are just unlocked, which is literally the worst thing. Okay, let's watch this crime, Oh no, there's a man getting mugging. I ain't asking again. Let's talk this out. He's gonna get stabbed, isn't he? Oh, there we go. We do have police. See, we got crime on lockdown. But yeah, one of the sad things is now we actually can have, as well as block parties, which are a fun type of natural event. Look at this. Look at this. This is a party. We want one of these. We've also got the opposite of that. Is the opposite of a block party a tornado? I feel like it must be, right? So just because I want to get it out of the way, let's just do it to ourselves. At the same time as the block party, actually. And let's just hope it goes nowhere near me, actually. Yeah, I might be so lucky. It might just go right off the world. No, I'm not so lucky. That's... Oh no, maybe, come on. A little bit more left. It's going to destroy, like, one of my fire stations. Oh, and some roads. Okay, this is quite the tragedy. But the cool thing about disasters, I don't know if this is true on Expert, but you get all of the aid you get is perfectly equivalent to the stuff that was destroyed. And I believe you get XP when you rebuild it too. I could be wrong on that one. But as well as getting 1200 XP for the tornado, which is good, gets me most of the way to level 11. I also believe you get a bit of fix. Oh, and just after that, a big fire started, so now, like, all of my fire capacity is in the wrong place, which is... I'm just going to start a fire station over here. Let's just make that a bit easier, because I just built those commercial zones, I really, this is a problem. Let's... I guess this is why you need to spread out your fire departments. Honestly, the real problem is just that I don't have a road here. Like, I have 2 houses over here instead of what really clearly should be a road. So, let's just spend the 720, destroy some people's houses, and get rewarded with a level up. This really is starting to seem like running a city, isn't it? Except now we've got to manage hospitals on top of all that other stuff, so things are getting fun here. But yeah, our city income is just all-time low kind of things. So here's the real problem with this game. The real reason it gets challenging is because at some point, okay, raising taxes is a bad idea. We can only do it so many times too. But at some point, you reach the point where you need to buy something to fix your tax system. But you're like way too deep into it at that point. You're like, well, I'm just kind of screwed now, aren't I? Like, I have to wait for $60 a second to roll in for me to be able to afford like an aquarium. Is it an aquarium I need? Yeah, an aquarium at 8,000. See, or an art gallery, which is recreation and income. Which honestly, I need income and also, sure, let's just build some art galleries. It might even be a good strategy to just build a whole row of art galleries. Again, in real life, that makes no sense. You can't just be like, here's 10 art galleries in a row. But in this game, real life doesn't need to make sense. And then we can also just hope that a quest comes in, like Perfect Storm. In fact, we get some XP for that. Not money, which is what I'm going for, but that's fine. We can also try and watch a crime in place, which I think I might have actually already seen. So, me and my boss got a hustle, so... Oh, look at me, I've already done that as well. I only got XP for it again. If you could give me some quests with real cash money, that'd be good. Stay out of your way if you know what's good for you. Stop a thug from stealing a vehicle, that's gonna be fun. And then look for a yoga person. Which this is the dodgiest thing, right? I'm looking for a yoga group, but I gotta find a new attractive lady friend to do it with. I know that's not what he's saying, but it's pretty dodgy, like. And I'm using my all-seeing eye as like the god mayor of this city, because I'm both a god and a mayor, you see. To do this, it just seems not quite okay. So yeah, we need to look for a criminal, and we need to look for a yoga instructor, or a criminal stealing a car, in fact. This looks like a criminal stealing a car, right? Oh no, it's a criminal getting out of a car. I mean, maybe the car is stolen. I mean, I guess maybe not. Who knows for sure? And then also we're looking for a yoga lady, just while we wait for the art gallery money to come in anyway. It's kind of interesting how this game does that, actually. Like, you have a mixture. In fact, there should not be this many criminals, right? Sup, boy? That guy has a gun, I'm fairly certain. I'm not sure what that is in his hand, but... Is it a tablet? Is he recording them? This looks like it's not an okay thing that's happening here, but that's fine, I guess. And then let's go look for yoga lady. So again, there should be... I believe somewhere in your city there's always a yoga lady. I could be wrong. Oh, there she is. Look at that. I don't know why she's purple on the map, but either way. You gotta be kidding me. Hey, that's not a really clever play on words, but still, it works. So now we've got the large power plant, and really, honestly, here's the interesting thing. If you look at the power plants, so a regular power plant powers 50 buildings. A large is 250, which is still good, but a solar powers like 350 or something. So, although a large power plant is okay, and it's like, sure, we'll build those, I get. Oh, we literally can't. Oh, wait, well, you need the art gallery first, anyway. So let's get one of them going, just because we are hemorrhaging money. In fact, I think we have to turn down taxes. I think it's the only way we're going to get back into the... yeah, we're at 0. We're out of money, so we have to take a loan. Or we have to hope that enough people come back. And that art gallery makes some money by itself. Yeah, the art gallery makes some money. Not enough to make a dent in this. But I'm thinking the population increase as it comes back in will get me going. Otherwise, I might just be trapped here forever. Yeah, no, things are not looking good for me. I guess we'll have to get a loan out. So yeah, this is expert mode. This is the real raw truth. Oh, maybe it's because this burned down. There's a deer next to the music store and the art gallery. People need to be taking selfies with that. I should monetize this. So yeah, things not going good. I don't know what went so wrong, by the way. I guess supply and demand aren't very closely matched. And my income is going down from exports and zone upkeep. Oh, my health is at 0%. So people got really unhappy all of a sudden. And that's the point I made. So we're just going to borrow 50,000. Like it's no big deal. It's going to be a whole tragedy trying to get that repaid, I reckon. And we're just going to build some hospitals. One over here. And one over here. And I'm hoping that public health is the only thing that was missing from my strategy. Again, the hope, the prayer, we're really running out of money, and once you've used up the loan, you're kind of done. We're at minus 31 now, and crime safety's low, so we need to spring for a police station real fast, just drop one there, and oh, there we go, we've barely made it into the positive. See, and now we have to repay that loan by some amount of time. Actually, I don't think there is a time limit. I think we just pay it back when we want to, except you have to pay back the whole thing. If I didn't have a bank, it would be impossible to pay back to. So this is... There's a lot of steps required for this. But I'm hoping the city is back on track now, especially with that second police station. Yeah, that's why, especially in, I guess, expert, you have to track all of these things like a hawk, because something goes wrong, and you just assume like, oh, it must be fine. Then everything goes really bad before you've even noticed it. So I guess there's a good lesson in that. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But let's try and find a home on the water. A riverside neighborhood so I can look outside. You know, it cost me 30,000 to do that, so I'm probably not going to do that too soon. But maybe sometime soon. So I think I already did unlock a new area of land, right? Okay, I have to buy some more land. So I'll buy some land by the beach. I'll put a property there, just, just for that, just for your main boy, the firefighter, and we'll kind of do that. So, yeah, I'm in a very delicate situation right now. I think it is worth investing in some new zones. Maybe I'll regret this later. We'll buy 4 of those, just to get some people moving in. People equals money, probably, maybe. And then that's the hope. So yeah, we came very close to annihilation. I think paying back the loan, it's not actually necessary, but it's a good idea so that next time something like this happens, we're like kind of ready for it, you know? Because we don't want to have to be like, oh, so about that, we need some money, but we don't have any, and I guess that means that everything goes down. Because there's no real way to like sell stuff, as far as I'm aware. Like if you demolish something, it gives you 0 back, you know? Actually, wait, let's see if when you demolish a zone, you get anything back. No, you get 0 back for most things. Even those trees, like, they cost me a whole 500 each. Not going to get any money back for them. So you can see how things get pretty dire pretty fast in this kind of thing. But that's half the fun, I guess. So anyway, I think I wanted to talk about today. I said I wasn't going to talk about cities and taxes and all that sort of stuff. But I did want to talk about what makes a boring story. So again, on this channel, I don't care. Maybe I'll tell the most boring stories all day, every day. That's not my concern. Maybe it should be, but it's not. But what is my concern is what makes a boring story. Because sometimes, you know, some people tell a story and you're like, please be finished with this story for both of us. I pray this is the end. And they're like, but then this, and you're like, no, not this. Anything but this. And I've always wondered what makes like a story so boring. Because I would ideally you try not to do that. So once we built 350 zones, we'll get that. Okay, so we're not going too far off that. But and I was trying to think to myself, because the reason this came up is like I came up with a story also, and I was like, because sometimes I try to think from my past, make sure I haven't missed anything important, because there's a lot of things I like to believe like in your brain. You've got like 2 types of memory. You've got like memories that you have that are locked in, you could recall instantly, and there's memories you have to really search for. And I want to believe those memories you have to really search for, at some point they're just going to vanish. I don't know when that point is. I'm not a brain expert or anything. But eventually those memories, like, they're not important. They're just going to vanish out of your head. And sometimes I think it's important to, like, check through all of those memories. Okay, so look at this. We did it. We did our quest, get some XP, be level 13 now. So sometimes I check through those. I was thinking of the most ridiculously boring story, because a friend once, he had to commute into college from some pretty far away place, so we had to catch a couple of trains. And he once gave me a newspaper that he got from his first train, like train to a train. Again, this is, you're seeing why this is a bad story, but please follow me, it gets worse. So he brought a newspaper, and I was like, no, I'll give the newspaper a read. I hate that I like the news, because the news is, especially any company that runs the news besides like state-funded stuff, right? Like I like the BBC, I'll read some Al Jazeera from time to time. But the interesting thing is that like I like news, so I read this newspaper, and in there was a Subway voucher. Get this, you might be thinking it's going somewhere, but this story is going absolutely nowhere. So those Subway vouchers were actually pretty good. They were a little bit better than the ones I'd seen in my local area, because I mean Subway, it's to me at least, it seems like the company that tries to voucher the hardest. I've got 5 Subways where I live in a pretty small like area of London, like just within walking distance of each other. I could get 5 subs within 10 minutes from 5 different Subways. And for some reason they all advertise collectively, like any voucher is valid at all of them. Don't know why they would choose that way, but it's the method they choose, so I try not to judge them too hard. By the way, we're paying back this loan. It's just, you know, first, while we're on the way there anyway, we might as well get another city tower, see if that has comparable benefits to last time. So there were some Subway vouchers in there, but these were Subway vouchers from Kent or somewhere. Southeast UK. And it's like, I wonder if these will work with me. Because I don't officially live in London, I live outside the official boundaries. And because of that, I live in something called a home county, I want to say. Oh, it might not be a home county. It's like a suburb county off London. The thing I just criticised as being very common in America, it's basically true for me, but like it still feels very city-like here. And so yeah, he hands me these vouchers, and they're for Subway, and they're surprisingly good. And I decided to use them at my local Subway. And you want to know what happened? It worked, and I got mildly cheaper subs than I otherwise would have. And that actually shocked me, because I was like, I guess, even though they clearly say on them only valid in, you know, I don't know what the county's actually called down there, the southeast of you on, like, it might just be called Kent, but only valid in this place, but it was valid in my local one because it was just similar enough to deals we do here that they just decided to accept it. And that's when I realized that, like, the reality behind those vouchers that are valid in one location, it's not because they're issued for one place, it's just because deals vary from place to place. If you've ever been to, like, a Subway at, like, an expo place, for instance, they're a lot more expensive. So, if you've ever wondered what the most boring story is that doesn't go anywhere, I think I have a pretty good contender, because one time, a friend of mine, he wasn't even a very good friend, took a train, found a newspaper, for some reason took the newspaper, I read the newspaper, there were vouchers that weren't valid for my local Subway store, and I used them anyway. That is the story, like that is the sequence of events, but for some reason in my head, it's a little notable, and it's what made me realize, like, there's some parts of stories, sometimes you want to tell stories because you're like, this was an interesting thing, like, and you just can't get it out there, and sometimes I feel like your brain just does a really bad job at working out what an interesting story is. Like, oh yeah, I want to tell someone about this. But who knows if it's actually interesting, and the answer is always probably not. So yeah, this loan is actually going to be like this whole grow local. Let's do this, shall we? Oh, we can build a farm at 15. Okay, so that's going to be a big one, because that's going to be my main source of income, I think. I'm going to buy all of this farmland up. Oh, I've already owned all the farmland. I'm going to buy it up regardless, and we're going to make things go wonderfully. So yeah, I actually have, surprisingly, the city land is not the thing constraining me. The only thing constraining me right now is probably money, right? And also that power plant load is starting to get concerning. But besides those two things, everything's going kind of nicely. We'll run a block party. I mean, it's in a part of town no one lives in, but that's fine. Yeah, I think, like, the thing is like, everyone has stories that they think are interesting. Everyone has things that happen to them that are interesting. But being a good storyteller is different to having good things happen to you. A really good storyteller, I feel like, can make a story about how they brushed their teeth this morning, and you're like, so I woke up and I decided to brush my teeth, but I already had brushed it last night, is a boring anecdote. But, you know, if you're like, so accidentally did the thing again, where I did something twice in a row, and before you say what you're thinking, it was teeth, like, I can't actually tell that. I'm sure that's a terrible story regardless, actually, but yeah, sometimes I think it's always good to, like, retell stories to yourself, so you can spot the boring ones, and you can, like, snap them out, maybe. Unless maybe like, boring stories are just a thing we should all accept as being an okay and or good thing. I'm not entirely certain, I just know it's a thing. So we're gonna zoom in through the city. Pray we find this car robbery, because I could do with some XP right now. There are so many criminals walking around, like, do I have that much crime in my city? It's only 81%, so apparently I must do, right? Yeah, oh, these are... Oh, oh, the bank was destroyed, but for some reason the bank didn't rebuild itself. I guess because it's too expensive. Which means I have to build a whole new bank before I can pay back this loan. That nightmare situation I was just describing, it's literally happening to me. So, this is going to be a whole nightmare. It's going to take some time to get this loan repaid. But you know, that'll teach me to borrow money from the bank. Maybe there's a lesson in this, maybe there's not. But I hope, regardless of that, you will enjoy the video, because my power plant load is like at 96%. I need to pay off this loan, and I need to build some power plants. And I guess I also need to expand in time to get these farms going, because I am just going to be spamming these farms out on this land. So yeah, thank you very much for watching today's Pocket City Let's Play style thing. Let me know what you think with the comments as always. And do you want to know something funny? Like, this is a mild dishonesty. I change my t-shirt sometimes between these videos. This is the same day as the last one. Maybe it's the same day as the next one. I don't think it will be, actually. And sometimes I do it just to see, like, you know, does anyone care and or notice? It's like a dishonesty, but no one cares about it. Is it still dishonest, you know? It's like back when people didn't know about scheduling YouTube videos. Some people would pretend they recorded every day when they recorded 7 in a row. Is that dishonest? Or is it better to... Because, you know, it's one of those big questions where it's like, you know, it's a new media, so you kind of get to make up your own rules. But if your own rules are wrong, then you have to feel bad. But with that said, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I think my farms, I've decided, are going to be over here. There's not much. There's only, like, 3 farms I think I can build. No, there's, like, 2 farms I can build right here. Yeah, this is a pretty tragic farmland, actually. In fact, if I hadn't built that, I'd get the same number of farms. Yeah, well, that was a big mistake then, wasn't it? But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I hope you got something from it. Oh, there's farmland out there, so I just have to go all the way over there. That's all I have to do. Easy stuff. And then we'll be better. So, next time, I'm going to have paid off my loans. I'm going to have some power, so this like power plant load isn't constantly over my head. And we're going to be able to actually focus on the next big quests, which are building a farm, actually, getting to the water, and getting 1,500 citizens, which we're actually getting really close to all of these things. So I'm feeling pretty good. Maybe you should too. And I guess for now, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.